Hello, this is Chief Floyd Mitchell of the Lubbock Police Department. As we rapidly head to the closing days of 2020, I wanted to give some analysis to our Lubbock community regarding the significant increase in homicides we've experienced this year.
Chief Mitchell, what are your initial thoughts on this year's homicides and what that means for the citizens of Lubbock?
Well, truly 2020 has been a very devastating year for a lot of our citizens here in Lubbock. 2020 so far, we've experienced 35 incidents where one person has taken the life of another. And the city of Lubbock has not experienced that since 1986, in which we had 27 homicides that year. So this has been a significant increase to the city of Lubbock.
So I think most of our citizens, their main question would be, am I safe as a citizen of the city of Lubbock? What would you say to them?
I would respond to that question with a resounding yes. You are safe in your home. You are safe in your community. 11 of our homicides, which really outpaces any other category, are related to domestic violence. And that is to say that the victim of the homicide and the suspect had some type of relationship, either an intimate relationship to where they were in some type of, they were married or dating, or a parent and a child. 4 of our homicide investigations resulted in the death of 2 people during the same incident and fall within the categories of narcotics and disputes. We had 8 people lose their lives in disputes. And again, in this category, the victim and the suspect had some type of relationship or some type of connection. And then the other category was narcotics related, meaning they were either trying to purchase narcotics, they were selling narcotics, or one person was trying to rob another one for their narcotics. So if you take those 3 categories, that accounts for 27 of our 35 homicides in Lubbock this year. We've had 3 incidents in which a law enforcement officer, in the performance of their duty to protect themselves or others, used lethal force in causing the death of a subject. Then we had a couple of incidents to where homeowners protecting their home shot and killed an intruder. And we had an incident to where several juveniles were playing with a firearm. That firearm discharged, killing one of the juveniles. From a professional law enforcement standpoint, homicides are one of the most unpredictable and oftentimes emotionally charged crimes we investigate. They often involve victims and suspects that have some type of relationship, occur when very few people are around to intervene, or have an illegal drug nexus. This is evident by the information and analysis provided regarding most of our homicides in Lubbock. It is important to note that this year we experienced 2 homicides in which the suspect very randomly decided to go to very public places and kill complete strangers. This is truly the exception here in Lubbock and represents a significant deviation from previous years and is extremely alarming to those of us in law enforcement and our public. At this point, I nor anyone on my staff can provide a specific reason or any justification for what these 2 suspects did or why. What I can tell you is that the men and women in law enforcement within this region have worked tirelessly to identify, arrest, and present prosecutable cases in each of these incidents where it is appropriate. We have dedicated professional law enforcement officers working throughout this region with the sole focus being your public safety. I know this to be the case from working with these professionals day in and day out. To circle back to that fundamental question, are we safe in our homes and throughout our community? Again, I would respond with a resounding yes.
Of the 35 homicides we've had to date, how many of those cases have been solved or presented by the DA's office at this point?
In each of those cases, a suspect or subject have been identified in all but one. That had to do with a double homicide in which we identified one suspect, but we have not identified the second suspect involved in the second shooting. So we're trying to do that. The case is still open, but of all 35 that we've experienced this year, we only have 1 open homicide investigation right now. I think when you look at our homicides, if you know someone that's in a difficult situation, there are resources out there that are available to help those folks. Just point them in the right direction. Be that intercept to prevent the violence from escalating and to possibly prevent someone from losing their life.